Welcome back, Washed Up Walk-Ons fans, episode 245 of the podcast. And hopefully the last time I will have to be recording on headphones. I apologize. Still haven't gotten the laptop that Kluver ordered me. That is okay. It'll be here sooner than later. Secondly, I would like to say that Kevin disrespected my mullet a little bit right before we started recording this podcast. So I don't really know exactly where Kevin and I are standing right now because I thought we were better friends than that. I thought he would respect the fact that I have a mullet and it's very feathered and better than anything he could ever grow. But he kind of disrespected me a little bit, said I had a bowl cut. It's just the way my bangs fall. It's not my fault. It's genetics, Kevin. It's like the reason Kluver can't have hair. Also the reason he couldn't squat 400 pounds. It's just like genetic shit. I don't know what to tell you guys. Wow. But guess what? It is game week, first week of the Big Ten. Also would like to apologize for not having Jeremiah Sturls here. We tried to coordinate a time to record the real official Big Ten week one pre-highlight whatever, and couldn't find a time. So hopefully he'll come on soon because he's always a great hang. But Kluver, let me turn it over to you before I just ramble on to Valhalla.
I think some people like when you ramble. You are correct. This should be the last time that you come through the muffled, what someone called online. It sounds like you're trying to be like choked out, like muffled out
with a pillow.
Yeah, someone's got the pillow on your face in the middle of the night. And
Yikes.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that bad. I think it was a good.
Why don't you turn it up on your end, you dick?
It's not your volume. It's just the way you sound. And I don't think it's that bad. I just think they took an opportunity to make a funny joke. This will be the last time that happens, assuming that your computer, your laptop that I bought you comes working and viable, because that is supposed to arrive on either Saturday or Sunday. So you will have that by the time we pod on Sunday to recap the Iowa versus Indiana game. And yeah, it should be exciting.
Recap my trip to Vegas with the boys.
And your trip to Vegas. It should be exciting because
I'm betting the mortgage on the Hawks, dude. I'm talking 6 figgies. I just sold my house. 6 figgies on a Hawks.
Well, I assume
3.5.
I assume, Kevin, you have some picks for us later on.
We took a look at the lines. We got some picks.
Okay, we took a look. He says, Kevin, your whiteboard will be arriving tomorrow, unfortunately. So
let's go.
Kevin's got I think a 4 foot by 6 foot whiteboard arriving that he's going to put on the wall that
and
sits behind.
I absolutely promise to anybody that watches this on YouTube, or maybe Kluver will put out the Ward's Winners segment every week where he goes up to his whiteboard. But I promise you folks, you will enjoy the shit that goes on the whiteboard, because my man is for sure going to diagram offensive, defensive things that happen in the games. And he's also going to have all of his lines and spreads on there, and it's going to be tremendous.
Yeah. So the whiteboard, so a little backstory. Kevin and I, we got a whiteboard for the house in Iowa City back
it was honestly one of the best things we had.
About 5 years ago. And it honestly opened up a lot of our friendship. We grew together through that. And I think a lot of people that came into our house really respected the whiteboard. A lot of important things went on there. How many dicks were drawn on that whiteboard? A few dicks, right?
How many times did Drake get shit on that whiteboard?
So many times. So many times. We put up pizza review numbers on that whiteboard for a while. Mm-hmm. We did a lot. And I feel like if you're sitting there listening at home and you're stuck, maybe work's a little stale, or maybe your personal life, or maybe your workouts haven't been great, get yourself a whiteboard, because it really opens up some creativity in your mind, and you just start writing things down and it looks great. Also, I want to take this opportunity right here to welcome in any new listeners to the show, to the Washed Up Walk-Ons podcast, to the Walk-On universe. Because
if that was the first intro you've ever listened to, you're welcome, because I brought my A game.
Yeah, it's been a good little intro. And I imagine that as we trance into the season here, we are going to get some more listeners because one, football is back. And for some reason, people care about what we have to say. Thank you. We appreciate that. We love that you're here. And two, because we are now on iHeartRadio, they are doing promos across their network, their radio network, and other podcasts. So hopefully you guys are finding us through there. On the back end, I can see some of the numbers. It looks like we're already growing. I informed the boys about that, as well as a few other updates the last couple of days. Like we said, we're on the way up, right? We're on the way up.
The fact that there's just no flags left.
Oh, also, thank you, Kevin. You guys are psychos. We ordered 120 flags. We sold out of 120 flags in 31 hours.
Let's go, Army. Let's go.
So I'm sorry to the few of you who have contacted me and been like, damn, dude, like y'all are out of flags already, which for those watching on the YouTube, I have upgraded my virtual background to the picture of the Hawks by a Million flag. It looks great. Several of you have already tweeted it at me. It looks incredible in all the places that you're already flying high with the HBAM. And there will be more flags, but because we've been a ragtag sort of operation here for a while, we now are just sort of coming into the sort of capital to buy bigger sizes of stocks in the Hawks by a Million flags or our Hawks by a Million t-shirt stock. So don't worry, they'll be available hopefully about a month from now. And then also be on the lookout for our Christmas drop. Obviously this is 3 months out, but our Christmas merch run will have those flags as part of it as well. A nice little HBAM flag sure does sound like a tasty little Christmas present for somebody. I think so. Right. But yes, welcome.
Except let's give it to them before Christmas so that they can fly it.
Well, yeah, obviously they'll be those orders will be in before Christmas. That all being said, Drake mentioned it. It's game week. It's exciting as hell. We even have a little treat for you that I'll be inserting later into the podcast. I went across enemy lines earlier today and did a 30-minute reconnaissance with a kind fellow named Scott, who has a Indiana podcast about Indiana football and basketball. And he gave me a ton of good content that you guys are going to get to listen to. I'll insert that in the middle here somewhere before we get towards winners at the end. But boys, if we have any eligibility left, I think we can spend that on Bishop Sycamore. I think we should all enroll. How about it?
Dude, absolute comedy. Have you been seeing, like,
I'm confused.
How does this happen? Somebody explain to me how this happens.
Apparently, us three could just start a high school, get like 8 of our buddies.
Yeah, on paper.
Get 8 of our buddies to sign up and like just go play an ESPN high school football game.
Completely.
Listen, Kyle, I'm probably in.
I am too, for sure. I'll play linebacker. And we probably
play safety.
We'd probably get trashed by IMG Academy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just really curious, like, what was the end goal for this team?
I don't know. So for anyone listening who's unaware, there's they obviously the really, really good high school teams, they broadcast each week during the fall season, playing each other, playing cross-state games, playing national games against each other. And one of the best schools in the country took on a team called Bishop Sycamore, which has turned out to be literally a fake team comprised of.
Apparently there's a warrant for the arrest of the head coach previous to this.
Correct. And the team was comprised of guys like ranging from high school age to like 30 years old.
Not 30, but I think like there's like 22 on there. Like guys who played JUCO college football and just like
correct.
I'm just gonna start playing high school kids again.
Dude, in 2021, you can decide whatever you are. You can say I identify as a high school kid.
It's true. I think that is how it works. And I just saw before we got on here, the same Bishop Sycamore, the check that they wrote to the hotel they stayed in to play at the game, it bounced. It was a fake check. Like they don't have any money. Like, so that's something wild that happened.
This is now one of the best sports stories I've ever heard.
It's absolutely insane, dude.
They played.
Wait, did you see they played a
IMG?
game like 2 days before?
Yeah.
And then they decided to play IMG on ESPN. Like, I don't know if high schools get paid to be on ESPN football
Maybe they do.
Or like, what was the goal here? I don't get it. You were obviously playing with a bunch of kids who are not going to get recruited to college because they're 30.
Because they have a wife and kids.
You're obviously not making money off this, which I just
Dude,
don't get.
go
it.
pay your mortgage, kid.
Seriously. Like,
are you just trying to troll ESPN? Is that if that was the goal, mission accomplished? Good work.
absolutely. If the goal was, hey, you think we can get away with this? Then absolutely they win. But other than that, I don't know. And it's wild. Other news, Patrick McCaffrey, I think, just got hooked up with a little NIL deal from Pancheros. One's a snack, two is a meal. Kevin, I know you were tagged in that tweet and you responded. That's a good one to have.
Honestly, if I had been around, if NIL had been around back circa 2015, 16,
Ponch would have been the move.
Ponch would have been the move, and they would have changed their slogan to "One's a snack, two's a meal."
Wow, you think you would have? You think
they
you
would
had
have doubled
that?
sales? Just think about it, bro. They would have doubled sales overnight.
All because these high school kids were trying to be like Kevin Ward.
Drake, imagine this. Kevin's just on like Pancheros posters around town, and he's flexing, but his biceps are 2 burritos, and it says one's a snack, two's a meal, and he's flexing.
Now, hear me out. What if we send either Shooter Shoots or Monty down to Pancheros and use exactly what we're pitching right here, and we just catch a little couple percent, to the children, and bada bing, bada boom, it's a great deal.
He's trying to pull the old Tristan Wirfs deal again. Like, hey, we got this idea, but we need 10% kickback. I think it's a great idea. I think Shooter's a perfect candidate. I know I would be shocked if he was not a patron of Pancheros on a frequent occasion. And it would be smart for the local Pancheros to do that. I think it's a great idea. If the money's right, I'm jealous. Kev, you could have done that whole strip. You could have had Zio Janos, Pancheros, and then you could have had Touch a Mink.
Whoa, chill.
You could have
Doug Ward.
And then same slogan, one's a snack, two's a meal.
Oh, you are disgusting, Kevin. You dirty dog.
Welcome in new listeners to the show. If this is your first episode, God damn, we're happy you're here. And you can tell there's just a little bit of a cheerful banter that we haven't had in a long time because the Hawks play in 4 days, baby. We're
Dude, there is college football this weekend, and I'm going to be in Vegas for it. Come on.
That's wild.
College
Tell me about that. Where are you
now.
staying? What's happening? How is that going down this weekend?
Staying at Planet Hollywood. I didn't pick the place, but it's for a bachelor party. And so I said, hey, I'm along for the ride. Y'all do what you do.
Yep.
And I'll show up. So packing the car up about 5, 6 tomorrow morning, something like that. Heading to McCarran Airport to pick up the guy who we're there for, Kovac. Shout out Kovac.
Shout out.
He might be listening to this on the plane, actually.
Maybe.
Dickhead. Shout out to you. And we're gonna have a jolly time, man. We're going to enjoy some vitamins, D and otherwise, and then we're going to enjoy the pleasures that Vegas offers for a couple of days.
You hear that, Kevin? He's going to enjoy some D.
Vitamin.
We
I
always
said
do, Drake.
vitamin.
We always do.
Vitamin. I said vitamins.
I know.
D and otherwise. I was
kidding,
making a
bro.
weed joke, guys.
Kidding.
It turned it into a gay one.
Hey, it's okay, man. It's okay to be gay.
I know, and I'm fine with my sexuality, but I just didn't know you guys were going to bring it up on the podcast.
And I'm fine with your sexuality too, dude. Keep touching me. Stop touching me though. All right. What else we got on the agenda here? What's on my list? Pat McCaff, Pancheros. Oh, we had some Hawkeyes.
Right now during this conversation, Kevin wants no part of this. He wants to detach himself from this podcast.
I just want to talk about football, man. Football season's here, and you want to talk about all this. We are Iowa football podcast, and you're like, what else do we have to talk about? I don't know. Maybe the fucking game in 4 hours.
Oh, there's one for the kids.
That's $5 to the kids, boys.
We love it, dude. I'm telling you what, the production of this show has gone through the roof. I want to talk quickly about the NFL Hawks. We had the 53-man rosters be announced. And let me actually pull that up because I screenshotted all of the Hawks who are officially in the league as of the 53-man roster. There are a lot of them, 36, I believe. Some surprises that hit.
My dog, Big AJ, made it, dude.
AJ,
I texted him right away. I was so pumped.
AJ Alaric Jackson has made the 53-man Los Angeles Rams roster. Our guy, Mekhi Sargent, finds his way onto the Tennessee Titans 53-man. And the Northern Illinois transfer, Jack Heflin, Jack Heflin, who someone called a
garbage can full of dirt.
A garbage can full of dirt.
What a
well, guess
great
what?
Analogy.
That garbage can, I think it was a compliment too. Like
it means like he's hard to move.
Extremely hard to move. He's a tank.
Yeah.
He has made.
They could have used cement or something instead of fucking dirt.
Called him dirt. There's one for the. Oh, not that one. There we go.
You have this thing on foot pedals or what?
Yeah, foot pedals, dude. I got scary music. And here's the.
That's the Nebraska theme song right now.
Yeah, and then I have obviously Ward's winners keyed up, and we'll hit that one later. He makes the 53-man roster for the Green Bay Packers, which is so cool. Like, I don't know, the Packers are such a historic sort of.
Jack Heflin is a Green Bay Packer defensive line type of dude.
Correct. Absolutely.
He had a hell of a preseason.
He balled out, as well as Nick Neiman. Nick Neiman makes the 53-man for the Chargers. Ended the preseason.
Was that up for debate?
It wasn't up for debate. He was going to make the roster, but our guy had the most tackles in the preseason in the entire NFL.
Neiman is going to show himself early, I believe,
and often. Yep.
Can I shout out possibly the most disrespected Iowa football alumni?
Sure.
In the NFL right now.
Give it
Christian
for the last couple of years. Our man Parker Hesse making the 53 for the Atlanta Falcons at tight end.
You're right. He did. We have Parker Hesse, Welch and Stone made Baltimore, Ike, Micah, AJ in Buffalo, Davion made Carolina, James Daniels in Chicago, Riley Reif. God, we still got some old boys in there, right? Like some decaders. Yeah, man. Kirksey's in there. I mean, it's really fun.
I feel like Kirksey's one of the more disrespected ones. He's just like a super vet, and he's just not getting much respect in the league anymore because of his injuries. But he's still a really good.
So what I'm saying though is, Iowa likes to put out these tight end U things all the time.
Oh yeah.
Parker's never mentioned.
We got to add him to the T-shirt. It's got to be Noah Hawk.
We're guilty too. Too.
Kevin, you're absolutely right. Your answer's way better than mine. I was just taking a guess out of midair.
James Ferentz, I don't know how he does it, but he makes a practice team. I mean, he's like New England's child at this point. Like, he makes New England's practice squad. Sean Byer and B. Wade make it in Denver.
You guys might appreciate this. The brick is Jackie Moon. He's a player coach. He gets in there, he mixes it up, and he also coaches the boys.
Yeah. Byer and Wade made it in Denver, which is awesome.
B. Wade, man.
Yeah, crazy, dude. I saw someone put it in perspective today. He didn't basically play any role for the Hawks in the first 4 years he was there. And then his final year he did. And now he goes and he makes a practice squad in the NFL. It's insane. And then Brandon Smith made Dallas's practice squad. Hawks left off the list that were on preseason teams: Nate Wheating, Greg Mabin, Cedric Lattimore, Ross Reynolds, Mike Daniels, Jake Gervais, Nate Stanley, Coy Cronk, and Jaleel Johnson. Biggest surprises out of those?
Hurts.
Yeah.
Jaleel,
right?
Yeah.
Gotta be for me.
He was solidly on Minnesota's roster for a long time. He got brought down to Houston, and then I guess they had a guy that he was battling with that just absolutely balled out in the preseason. So yeah, for those guys, that sucks.
Seems like
man.
Mike Daniels' career is coming towards a bit.
It's tough, dude. It's tough to play for 10 years, man. It's tough.
At that position, it sure as hell is.
At that size, man, Mike Daniels has overcome all odds, dude.
Our guy,
it's
Mike,
tough to see one come to an end.
He already beat the game, though, man. He got the bag.
He got the bag. At that weight, he deserves to like get healthy and lose a little, shed some pounds and just be a normal human at this point. And yeah, Stanley left off the Vikings. I'd love to see him land somewhere because I think he could. I think all those guys could. Like the thing with free agent Hawks is, they're going to come in and work their tail off and be a great practice squad guy or a great scout team guy. So I think some of those guys will land somewhere, but it is a business and it stands for not for long, the old NFL. So that is that. Let's move on to this week. Tuesday media yesterday. Coach Ferentz on the stand up at the podium and gave a bunch of, sort of first week answers. They talked about camp. They talked about vaccinations, COVID, this, that, the other stuff. I took away a couple things. Obviously, Spencer Petras, hot topic as we roll into week 1 here. And they asked about Spencer and what he looked like this year, what he has looked like compared to last season. And the first words that came out of Coach Ferentz's mouth were night and day. Now, that's good. That's good stuff. KF, not one to bullshit you, huh?
Listen, boys, if Spence Peaches is the next blonde-haired bomber for the Hawks, if he's CJ Beathard 2.0, if he comes out and has a golden goat 2.0 type of year, the Hawks are going to be so damn hard to beat.
Okay, well, with the freaking noise effects. You're right, though. It's real.
You've been doing sound effects the whole episode. Can I not get one?
That's true. That's the Drake soundboard right there. You're right. If Spencer's great, good to great, it's going to be an exciting time. And, I talked to the fans will listen to the Indiana guy and I talk in a second here, but really what they're walking into this game feeling pretty confident because they have an aggressive defense, a good back seven, similar to us. He actually claimed that he thinks it's the best back seven in the big. I told him that I don't know, we might rival you for that. And they feel confident because of us having a quarterback situation that's sort of still up in the air, not the guy decision, but his play. And so if he can take that away from them and we can run the ball, but then he also can scare Indiana in the passing game and every other team we play, boys, the 21 season is going to be fun to cover. It's going to be fun. He said, go for it.
I was just going to say, he's completely correct. This Indiana back seven's going to be one of the better ones we play all year. I believe they lost a lot on their defensive line. Yeah. I think both of their lines, they lost some key experienced players.
Exactly.
Hey, Kev, you know better than anybody that a good defensive line is what makes a good back seven. So
absolutely, 100%. Defense always starts up front with the defensive line. I think that's something that we're going to have to try to exploit, and we're going to have to establish the run game to win this game.
Yeah.
I don't think we throw 50 times this game and win.
No. I hope we don't throw 50 times.
Do you see who we got in backfield? That boy, number 15.
He can run now.
Turn around, hand him that son bitch about 25, 30 times.
How about number 40? Hand that bitch to Pottebaum. Give it to Potty.
Pottebaum's put on this earth to move linebackers.
That's true.
Yeah. And doesn't he wear 38 or am I tripping?
Is he 38? Maybe.
I'm
I don't know.
pretty sure.
It doesn't matter to me. Just give him the ball. Give it to him more. Drake scored a couple touchdowns. Potty's got to get himself a couple tutters,
Dude, listen, I wasn't that good and I scored 2 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying.
This kid's actually good. If they don't toss him a bone for actually being good, that's fucked up. $5 for the kids.
Just don't pull butters and toss the ball backwards to no one.
Oh yeah. Do not try and hand it back off. I'm going to shit on Brady forever for that one. I think everybody deserves to.
Dude, his snafu play is way worse than yours was.
100%. Mine was a positive play. His was like
bad.
He tried to pull a JP, like
in the middle of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, man. The other thing, so he finished that statement about Pancheros with the words or the descriptives of more accurate, faster decision making, and much more decisive with where he wanted to go with the ball. That's good.
Great things.
That's good. And I don't think KF, you guys know him. He's not going to be one to come out and BS a bunch of answers and just blow smoke. So if that's what he's saying, gosh, that makes me feel real good about Ole Spence Peaches. And I'm real happy to be able to just watch Iowa football on Saturday in general. So the other thing that was mentioned was they may rotate and play up to 8 offensive linemen on Saturday.
That's interesting.
And
not my favorite. If
no,
we're gonna be honest.
No, and he didn't
Feel
sound
bad, man.
He didn't sound worried. It was almost like we've got a bunch of guys that can play.
KF is the absolute lead Spartan. You think he's going to show worry to the media 3 days before the game?
I know that. What I'm saying is, from someone who has sat in meeting after meeting with KF, he talked about it almost in a positive light, and was like, hey, we don't know who's going to be the guy, but we've got a bunch of guys that we feel good about, and they're all going to get a little time. And so I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. I mean, you can spin it however way you want.
I think it would obviously be better if he came out.
Yeah. I obviously not being able to watch practice or camp at all this year, I'd feel more comfortable knowing that we feel good about our 5 guys. That
You'd love for the coach to come to the podium and say, we're locked in. We got 5.
Like, these are our 5 guys, and we're gonna go to war with these guys.
The shooter situation obviously put that in more jeopardy than we probably would have liked it to be. But I think whatever 5 guys the black and gold have out there, they're going to be able to move the ball. I believe that. And
well, they're going to have to. Like I said, we're going to have to run the ball versus this football team.
Absolutely. The final thing that I took away from the press conference was KF spoke super confidently about our 4 backs. 4. Tyler Goodson, Ivo, Gavin Williams, who is a second year out of Southeast Polk, and LaShawn Williams, who is a young kid out of the Chicago area. So we got a stable, boys. We got a stable.
Which is great. But turn around and hand that boy number 15 the goddamn football.
Finally, before we go, before we say a few words on Indiana and I send you into the Indiana part of this podcast with Scott from the CrimsonCast, what do you guys as a whole? It could be a very specific thing. It could be a broad thing. What are you guys looking for? What's the biggest thing you hope to see out of the Iowa Hawkeye football team in 2021? I'll let you think and I'll go first. For me,
what I will tell you is I hope for Tyler Kluver, you get better at asking that question.
Okay. I'll work on that. Thanks, Coach. I want to see the back 7 establish our defense. And again, you just said starts with, the guys up front. I think those guys will be satisfactory. I want to see those back 7 ball out and put our defense in that top 5 conversation in the country. I think they have the potential to do it. I think they have the potential for a bunch of turnovers. And I think that they make our defensive line and the rest of our team feel very confident knowing that those 7 are on the field. And I want to see them absolutely dominate and be an elite back 7. And that's what I'm excited to see. Thoughts?
You got your answer, Kev?
Yeah. So, like, what's the question? What do we want to see out of
the biggest thing that you hope to see from the Hawks this year?
I want to see ball control.
Yeah.
I want to see the Hawks take care of the football, and I want to see them establish the run early and often every game, and I want to see them stop the run. I want to dominate time of possession this year.
Yep. Drake?
I want to see the offensive line play championship level football, because if they do, we win the West running away.
I think
I think I agree with that.
I think I do too.
We have an offense that looks on paper kind of like the Chiefs of Iowa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Iowa usually doesn't get the like offensive skill talent to salivate over, but we have it right now in a way.
Yep.
And if the offensive line dominates the line of scrimmage, dude, we are going to be so hard to beat.
I mean, the question this year is the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
both offensive and defensive. If
the offensive wins it, though, we could damn near play defense like Oklahoma does and still win the football game.
We just throw, whoever out there, just
if we got some young guys on this defensive line, and if they can play up to the caliber that we need them to play, this could be an all-time elite defense.
And I think we almost don't give enough credit. Van Valkenburg on the edge and John Wagner.
It's more so the interior.
It's the interior. We have Joe Evans, John Wagner, and Van Valkenburg on the edge. And I think they have a lot of experience. They all played heavy reps last year. I think they will be okay. It really is on our two tackles. Can we find some young, big mother tackles?
I think you're going to see Noah Shannon.
Yeah.
Resemble a lot of Nate Bujita.
Yep.
Just eating up offensive linemen.
We eating, baby.
Bro, I'll tell you what, those three linebackers would give their scholarship checks for a Nate Bujita.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
The thing is, we need three more. We need four. We need four defensive tackles that we can rotate in now, because that's a position that you get fucking tired.
You get tired. You're right. And when the question for Iowa is the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, man, it just feels like you should just assume they're going to figure it out, right? And so I'm going to roll with that sort of mindset that Phil and Barnett are going to figure those positions out, and the team is going to figure that out, and we're going to be okay. And if we're okay there, and even better than okay, like you said, Drake, I think the West is ours to take, man. It's not even a homer thing. I think it's legit. Indiana, the Indiana Hoosiers, man. Tell you what, I'll tell you what, man.
Good football team.
Good football team.
This is not the Indiana of 2012 to 2014, where they were basically a Big 12 team in the Big 10, scoring all sorts of points and not playing defense.
Yeah.
This is a good team. They play physical football.
They have a quarterback who is an all Big 10 quarterback, and Michael Penix Jr. You'll hear a lot about him when I cut to the.
That kid genuinely scares me, man. He is a playmaker.
Yeah. They have a transfer running back from USC who we actually played against 2 years ago in the Holiday Bowl. He wasn't a huge factor then, had like 5 carries. The word is he's looked great and that he's going to be the guy they go with. And then they have a receiver who is maybe one of the best in the country in Freifogel. And he's good. He's really, really good.
Lost his counterpart in Watt Filler, though.
What?
Their good receiver from last year, Watt Filler, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Went to the NFL, so
yeah. I think they have a couple other guys.
They got a really good tight end too. I forget his head begins with an H.
Yeah. The defense, they have a really, really good, I believe, corner or one of the corners.
They got a really good corner. Their linebackers are all good.
Yeah, they have a great linebacker.
Their back seven is just really good.
Several, like half their back seven is basically all Big Ten caliber. So not only that, but they play aggressive. They play fast defense. And I think it comes back to this. Actually, you know what? We're going to move into this here after the Indiana segment. But, Iowa is currently sitting as a
minus 3.5.
A 3.5 point favorite. And obviously that makes sense. Iowa plays in a lot.
I don't like the half point. Half point makes
if
me
I'm
nervous.
if I'm being real, man, I didn't think that they were going to give them 3.5. That I thought that they were going to have this damn near a pick 'em, dude.
I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling
it must be just purely home field.
I'm feeling the first time you're playing in front of fans in 2 years.
There's a lot of
That
factors.
can make it a factor. Yep.
Yeah. I actually feel confident. I feel confident in this game, and I don't know what it is. It's probably just a faux feeling from all the hype and just football being back. But man, I just feel confident about this team, about Spencer.
I think you could say the same about Indiana, dude. They played good football last year. I think they believe they have a shot to maybe upset Ohio State and win the Big Ten East.
I think they do too.
Were they the ones that upset Ohio State a couple years ago?
No, that was Purdue. Last year, Indiana got in their opener, they played Penn State, and they had that crazy play on the pylon where like the ball touched the pylon, but Penix's knee was down, but was it down? Who knows? They called it a touchdown. They upset Penn State. Now Penn State, it's kind of weird, right? Because they went on to be like the dumpster of the Big Ten last year.
They finished the year kind of strong.
A little stronger than they started, but like, it was such a confidence boost for Indiana early on. They really ran with that. And I think maybe more scary than any of their individual players or the offense or their defense, I think is just how good they feel about their team, how confident they are in their program. And the one thing that, we sort of talked about with Scott that you'll hear in a second, they haven't historically played well on the road, even when they have good teams. So Kinnick's tough place to play, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to open your season. Like
Kinnick might be the deciding factor this game.
It might be. And if that's the 3.5 points that we need, I'll take it.
And if that's the factor, then God damn it, Walk On Army, you heard the man.
Yeah. Get in there and scream your absolute lungs away. I think right here is a good time to cut. You guys are about to hear a little treat, a little crossover, and then we're be
still
back.
Doing Ward's winners, right?
Oh yeah, we're coming back. We'll be back after that. Ward's winners after this segment. And we're back. A little magic, a little behind the scenes magic. The tech guy just worked. He worked it right in. It was seamless. Welcome back for the final segment of your first week, your first game preview of the year. You guys know what it is. Kevin. Yeah.
All I do is win, no matter what.
It's Ward's winners, baby. The best part of the in-season podcasts.
Feels good, baby. I'm excited for this year. We got real college football in front of real fans and real stadiums. And we got
and again,
some real
listen
lines
to me,
that we're gonna
Army.
bet
If
real
you guys are
fucking
not
hard.
If you guys are not taking Kevin's picks at this point, you're losing money. You're listening to this podcast to lose money. Listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about.
And is this the first year that sports betting is legal in
Iowa?
Like mobile sports betting in Iowa since I know we did it last year, but there was nobody.
2019.
Okay. All right. So maybe not, but it's very exciting. You guys should be able to all flood out to your local casinos, be a little degenerate, put $5, put $10, $20. Who knows?
Bet responsibly, but just know
that these are winners. Kevin, take it away.
All right. So you guys know what my favorite sport is?
I got a pretty good guess.
Is this a trick question?
It's
intercollegiate football.
It's college football.
Okay.
Do you know what my favorite conference is?
Well, yeah.
I've got a pretty good guess.
It's the Big Ten.
It's the Big Ten. This is the strategy this year. We're picking Big Ten because that's what I watch like a damn hawk.
That's what he knows.
So we're staying hard. We're staying with the Big Ten.
Okay.
It's what I know. It's what I feel comfortable with. And there's going to be a few picks today that you're going to get used to hearing over the course of this year.
Okay.
First pick. Thursday night.
Ooh, starting early.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. -7 first half versus the Minnesota Gophers.
Ooh, a little first half bet.
I'm a big fan of Ohio State first half bets. They usually come out firing pretty hot.
So what's the over under? Because it's the first time a defense is going to be saying a live offense, Ohio State's defense may not be clicking on all cylinders. It could be a first half over type deal.
Ooh, I didn't check the first half.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I want to say the total for the game was
total for the game. Ohio
50s.
State, Minnesota is 62.5.
62.5. So in general,
Listen, dude, Ohio State's been known to score 62 by themselves on
Correct.
people.
Yeah.
I don't have a play in the over under in that game, but I love Ohio State -7 first half versus the Gophers tonight when you're listening to it. Hey fans, you want the picks? Listen Thursday morning because it might be a Thursday night game.
There you go. You got to be on this.
Number 2, get used to hearing this one. Friday night football.
Oof.
Not a fan of it unless you're playing high school, but Michigan State at Northwestern University.
Here we go.
Under 46.
Under 46 for the Michigan State North.
46.
I like that pick a lot.
I love that pick because I love cheering against both those teams.
Yep.
So I'd love them to both look like a hot pile of shit in the middle of an absolute hot pile of shit stadium.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Sure.
Northwestern had a good football team last year. Obviously they won the West, but lost a lot of production. They had a few draft picks. They lost their star running back and one of their offensive linemen out for the year. So I would look for that offense to have a little bit of a shaky start, and Michigan State just did not look good at all last year.
We know
they actually beat Northwestern last year.
They did. They did.
That was a crazy upset. But I see sloppy football, and I see Pat Fitzgerald's teams play good defense. So
Yeah, they do.
I love the under in that.
It's a great pick.
Third pick, I like this pick, but I feel like I'm getting baited into it. It's the Illinois Fighting Illini -5.5 versus
UTSA.
he bit the cheese, Kluber.
He's buying into the hype.
Man, I think they just. So here's why I like it. They got a game under their belt.
Yeah, true.
A team playing a second game, in my opinion, has a big advantage over a team going in their first game.
Agreed.
Now you could say like, oh, that gives UTSA another week to prepare. Yes, kind of true. I doubt Illinois showed everything in their bag week 1 and 2. That first game, there's a lot of nerves. There's, you can practice all you want. There's just nothing that simulates game speed.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something else? According to the turd Scott Frost, Illinois is not even game plannable because they'll just come out in something different and throw out 50% of your game plan.
Yeah, that was a wild quote by the old Frosty boy.
Yep. All right. And then okay. I got a fun pick for the fans.
I like that. Before you move on, I like that Illinois pick. They're riding high too. They're confident as hell.
Yeah, well, like we said in our last podcast, it feels great being 1-0, and momentum's a real thing.
Feels even better being 2-0.
Damn straight. Each one, you just feel better. You practice better. You show up happy when you go to the pod to the.
And fans, if you're wondering how it feels to be 12-0, it feels damn good.
The Illinois game's for sure in Champaign, right?
It is.
They're not traveling to San Antonio.
No, it is in Champaign.
5.5. That's a gift.
Yeah, I feel
Kevin,
like it is
you were
too.
worried about that one?
It's a bait.
It feels baity.
UTSA has a solid football
to the
team.
MGM sportsbook. I'm sprinting to the sportsbook tomorrow to snag these 3 picks because I like them all.
UTSA
I
has
actually
a solid
like
team, man. Don't just because I think they're Sunbelt.
I think Drew Tate is coaching for them. Is it UTSA or is it somebody else? I think it might be UTSA.
Oh, no, that's who they're playing. I don't know. I don't know about Drew Tate.
I think he might be coaching for Texas San Antonio.
All right. My last pick, little fun one for the fans. I actually kind of like it a lot, though. Indiana versus Iowa. First score to not be a touchdown, plus 160.
Wow. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I like Iowa generally plays really good red zone defense.
Yep.
I think both the back sevens prevent big plays from happening. And I think you're getting good odds there on a field goal. Who knows, maybe even a safety being your first score of the ball game.
Kev Daddy pulls out the prop bet for the main event.
I love that shit. I love it.
Give us a money line, baby. Or at least give us something on the spread here.
We got to talk about. I mean, those are the picks. Ward's picks are Ward's winners, and we will throw those up.
Blue balled on Ward's winners?
No. We are going to the picks will go out to the public. I will have this up on Thursday morning when the podcast comes out. There will be an Instagram graphic. That same graphic will go on Twitter, so everybody will have Ward's winners. Drake and I will also have picks as part of that graphic. Sometimes it may include NFL. Obviously, there's no NFL games this weekend, so that's got a little bit. I think I usually get everybody's like full picks in there. We all do 3 to 5, right? So Kevin's got 4, but we got to talk about it. It's 3.5. This is how we end every episode. I've got the flag behind me. How does the Iowa-Indiana game end up? I am saying Iowa covers 3.5 easy. I think they win by a touchdown, possibly 10 points. I'm homering hard right now. That's where I'm going. Iowa -3, lock it up. Boys, how you feeling?
I'm looking forward to a great football game, and I think it's going to be a tough-fought, physical football game. I think Iowa wins somewhere around the 24-20 range. Give me the Hawkeye cover. Give me the Hawks cover 3.5.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, boys. I was gonna say hammer the Hawk money line because I think that's gonna be a done deal. But if these greasy old boys are taking the Hawks 3.5, I mean, give me -3.5, boys.
We love it. Oh man. Ward's
but
winners.
Also, I really think somebody should look into that Ohio State first half over because I think the boys are going to score some points.
I think so too. Man, it feels good to be back, don't it, man? That's the first episode of the year. That's 245. We are looking live.
Kevin, how giddy are you right now with the first game of your slate on the horizon?
I'm so happy. This is what I live for.
Big Ten football will be playing from the time we're recording this in less than 24 hours. And from the time that you hear this, you're about 12 hours out. If you catch it right away in the morning, it could be less. You might be listening to this as you watch Minnesota play. So
hopefully they're down by a touchdown at that time.
Right. Football's back. Iowa football is back. It's not just that trash Nebraska stuff. The black and gold, the swarm, back in black. In heaven, there is no beer. In Kinnick, there is beer. Y'all can drink this weekend. That's it, man. 245. We hope you enjoyed this little mix and mash podcast. And we're just so excited to be back. Catch me on the radio post-game show this weekend. I'm going to be doing it with a host. I don't really know the details past that. It's pretty bad. I think I'm on 600 WMT and 1420 whatever the Quad City station is. We'll be on for 2 hours after Dolph and Podolak go. And I'll be tweeting that on Twitter as well. Ward's winners in the book. Hawks by 1,000,000. 245. We're looking for that 1-0. Here we come.